2, 1. All right, cool. We are live.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's up, Dragon Ball fam? It's your boy Eddie San Hilaire here with Mr. Top 32, Robbie Rietze, coming at you live with another spice of his aggro U7 Goku, man. All right, talk about it, man.
It's an awesome deck, guys. We basically abuse Scion. We're running a 4th copy. It's very powerful. And then it lets us build some early aggression. So that way on turn 2, we can keep that aggression going with some of the very powerful cards they gave us. Primarily Android 17. Android 17 is an amazing turn 2 play because frequently we can actually protect it. Because we don't use after image very frequently on later turns. We actually use it on early turns. So you'll put out your Android 17 and he might survive 2 or 3 turns. So this deck is very good at both card advantage and it's just very powerful.
That's value.
What
Android
I really
17.
like about this deck is we have a whole bunch of series of cards to use that make the deck extremely powerful. I'm going to talk about a few of the matches that I won. I lost to Sin Shenron and Gogeta. Both of them Sin Shenron, if I wanted to, I definitely could have drawn the game and just won because he was it was one of my teammates who I knew was a little bit slower of a player and like takes a lot of time. And but that's not how I like to win. I like to go for it, and I failed miserably because he played the Cell Xeno SCR. And then against Gogeta Xeno, he just played very well. He did no misplays, and he won the dice roll. And when it comes down to it, sometimes in best of 1, you're going to lose. I'm going to show you some of the cards I used to win against certain decks. So against Blue, I primarily really went into Son Goku Divine Presence. This card is amazing. It cannot be removed from the battle area by all of your opponent's skills, which is very relevant.
By skills, period.
Yeah, it's a very powerful card. I really leaned hard into it. And frequently, I would save my Awaken for turn 3, so I could play 2 of these. And that's really where it got very, very messy for my opponent, because on turn 1 or on turn 2, I would cast Scion and then swing across with all my 10Ks. So they were usually already awoken. Then I'd swing with, let's say, like one of those same skillless battle cards or another 17. I would combo a bunch of cards, and then after I comboed, I would get to summon this in, so then they'd have to decide that they want to defend against this or the card that's already attacking. And then he would swing, and then obviously if they had a negate, they would use it then. But then if there was 2 copies of these, you're getting card advantage when they attack because you get a skillless out of your deck. And now it's a 30k. Having a 30k on turn 3 is amazing going first. And against Blue just can't stop it. Like it's what he's meant to do. Blue has no interactions for it. 100%. 0 interactions for it. Yellow can tap it down, so you don't lean as heavily into it. My sideboard was like Piccolo Unison was probably the only card I actually used. I ran Deborah, but this deck is already so strong against hand destruction. I think that was a mistake. So in the future, I'm going to run some more anti-aggro cards and maybe some tech against some certain decks. Definitely more of these and some weird cards because I saw some like Mill. Like, Mill was a weird thing, and now that I see that Mill is very popular, we need to have sideboard for it. One of the coolest games was actually I beat Cooler Mill, and on turn 7, I activated my Awaken.
Turn 7?
I saved it. Yeah, because I was in a rush. Like, I knew once he went to 4 life, we were just playing the long-term game, and I just didn't play a single battle card the entire game. And then on turn 7, I dropped Son Goku. I milled him. I killed all of his board, and then I purposely left just enough cards in his hand so he would kill it, because he already had the Unison in play. And then once he killed it, I brought it back with my leader's ability. I woke,
Jeez.
Brought it back, paid the 4 again, and he was tapped out. And he goes, awesome. And I look at his hand. He has nothing available that matters. I just take a random card. He takes the 2. I swing again. He draws a negate, sparking, and I'm like, uh-oh. But then I just killed him with my leader swing, just went hand dump. Didn't have the cards in hand that mattered. But, it's not limit 1. Like, that's the part you don't think about is because it's 4 energy. Who would have thought you could cast 2?
Yeah.
But it was just amazing. I think I told you in the video I made for this channel, This SER is just poorly designed amazingness. I won 2 of my games with just this card, not even attacking with it. I just literally against one player was Android 16. He had a Boo Unison in play. Ooh. So I just said, okay, 4 energy, sack it, go to 1 life. And he's like, okay, I'm at 1. And I just swung leader, and he had 1 energy open. He wasn't able to negate it. So I just swung across with my leader and hand dumped. And it felt really good because normally he would have had a blocker. He would have had the ability to bottom deck a card. Like, you know, he blew kind of his whole turn on Majin Buu. And my turn, yeah, sure, I paid all my energy. But the big part that makes my deck special is you'll notice I have 3 10Ks. That's it. We didn't run Death Ball in the end. We cut it. It's all 5Ks. So we just have, if you look at all these
for the hand
combo cards, it's just Unison. And then these right here. So odds are, when I was ready to win, I just hand dumped. And it really changes the game in this format. I actually considered Kai, but black is very hard to cast with this deck. You need all your cards to be red, and whenever like even just having 2 Koitsukais, super hard. This card was also amazing. I always cited it in the second copy. That's why I'm showing you guys 2. Technically, in my original list, it was only 1, but I always put it in. Like, it didn't matter who I played against once I learned how good it was. I think when we talk about intent of the game, clearly Son Goku didn't want you to activate cards from your drop. But they couldn't say that because then you couldn't use his leader ability. But I don't think you were supposed to be able to remove cards from the game, not send them to warp. So you kind of get to take advantage of that ruling with this card, and it's quite powerful. You're several opponents that I was playing against blue, because I was being so aggressive on my turn 3, I would also activate this, because if I didn't want to drop 2 of these, I would activate 1 of these, awaken, play this card, and still have an energy open. They would have to use the negates that played a blocker. So they would take a life
and they warp 2
just to stop 2 attacks.
That's insane.
That's not very good. So they would survive the turn, because by the end of it I couldn't kill them. But by then we'd go into their turn, they'd have 2 cards in hand and I have 10. And I'd still be at, I think when I played against the baby player, I think I had 7 life.
You played against baby?
Yeah, it was a very good deck. I think it was baby. No, it was Vegeta. Sorry, SF4 Vegeta.
Yeah.
I forgot because he was playing all the negates. He had some cool tech. I won't ruin it for you, but he had some spicy stuff where I actually played Vegeta, and Vegeta went back to my hand. So he had some good stuff. I was like, there's no way. And he's like, boom. And I was like, what? One card that's not in here that I need to get some more copies for, it's a Vegeta. Eddie told me about it. I didn't even know what it was going into it. It wasn't on this list that I made going into the event. I think that's where my last 2 cards are, because I think I ran 58 or 59. I can't remember. I have the picture, but the Vegeta was just insane. If your opponent played a negate for 1 energy, you could just bottom deck it instead and just present it to the drop, and then you got a combo out of it later. It was very relevant because people were playing. Everyone was running either Riposte, Shenron,
Oceanus,
or Oceanus, or they were running what's the other one called? The blue one, Heroic Prospect. So it was very nice to have access to all of them. I'd say the only thing I don't like about this leader, I wish there was some way we could play Overrealm.
Yeah, I'm looking at your deck. It's like, have you ever played U7 Gohan?
That was my first ever. No. I made this deck in 3 days.
Okay, I'm about to say, because this deck looks really similar, like U7 Gohan minus the Unison. Like what you're trying to do specifically. Minus that, I guess you're 17 and still won't go live early enough. I guess that's why you're playing this leader, because it is sparking 7. So I guess it's the rough part.
Yeah, I mean, this card is really powerful because the one time I didn't have the sparking 7, but I had the 5. So he was just a single strike looking at your top 3.
That sucks.
And that's amazing. Looking at your top 3 and grabbing a super combo. I don't think I would play this leader in best of 3. I would play Soul Striker. Soul Striker is a much better deck. It has a much higher ceiling. Everything about Soul Striker is amazing. But this is best of 1. You don't need to be the best player in the room. You just got to get there.
Big facts.
There was all kinds of cool decks there. There was Videl. There was Boo. People were running Baby, and they were running King Cold. the 6-drop, that Mills 5. Like, people had all kinds of creative stuff because in best of one, you don't have to be the better player.
Just gotta have a god, yeah.
One, yeah, you just got to get there, and you can't give up. Like, against Gogeta, I kind of gave up last round. Like I didn't know what to do. I was overwhelmed. He outplayed me 100%, but I kind of gave up. And then later on, I realized, I still had like 1 or 2 lines of play. But I couldn't see him because in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't matter. We'll just go to the next game. I still had that mentality, but I didn't have another game,
Yeah.
But it was cool. I got to say, if you were one of my opponents, whether you beat me or I beat you, everyone was awesome. I have never had, like, this entire year, it's kind of been like that for the regionals we played online, and then now Fest. Everybody is so cool in the community now that every event just feels like a blast. Like, everyone's so chill. So good job, guys. Like, you guys are teaching me to be more relaxed when I play. Because like I said, I'm very defeated after I lose. I'm very, like, grumpy. I don't want to talk to anybody. But I had a blast. Like, I lost, and I was like, who cares? It's a game. And that's what we want. Like, we don't want people being like, oh, this matters so much. There's $1,000 card on the line. I mean, we're not here for that. We're just here to have fun.
I was here for that. Unfortunately, I didn't get there. But yeah, man, it's pretty spicy. One thing I'll ask you, as I'm looking at deck profile, how do you feel about the Gohan, the 1-drop Gohan versus Science? Because it feels like I don't see a turn. I guess the Gohans are just there just in case you don't see Science.
So what's really nice about this deck is Scion's really great for aggression. Like I said, now it's going to be a 4-of. Like, you can just save that for when I submit it to the PPG, because I'm sure for PPG I'll need both the deck list and it.
Yeah, you're
I'm working on the numbers right now of what I want to run.
Next to your numbers, you just say Eddie was right. Put this thing at 4.
Yeah. Just big bold letters. Eddie was the goat. And now we got Fest. I don't know if you guys. I don't want to try to make it like feed, but we got the Fest Scions. I had to borrow these from Eddie. I didn't even have my own. And so that's what's so cool about this event. Like, I didn't want to spend $20 on foil Scions.
Yeah.
I'm a little cheap. But this card was actually really good for aggression. So I didn't use it defensively ever. One thing that surprised me about some of my opponents that I would say was a mistake on their part. Yep, against every single one of my opponents. So I can say this with confidence. Everyone attacked me too much. Like, if I had board out...
They attacked your leader or they attacked your battle cards?
They attacked my leader.
Okay.
So I use Son Gohan to protect my battle cards, and that's what he was good for. Like, on turn 2, it's very nice to play a Son Gohan, burst my 3. He's definitely online by then because I've discarded, 8 cards effectively from my deck.
Yeah. And
then I'll attack, but I'm not going to combo a skill list for no reason. Like, I actually want you to combo out of this attack as a double strike because you're usually at 5 life. And I don't want you to go to 3 quite yet because I'll give you too much card advantage. And so a lot of people would choose to combo 2 cards to get out of it. And then they would just play multiple battle cards and they would swing into my leader, which I loved because then I'd have like 3 or 4 more cards to kill them the following turn. But if they didn't do that strategy and they did attack my battle cards and they would combo, like someone would combo to 15, then I would purposely combo a Piccolo, a Goku, or a Goku. Or if they comboed the 20, I would combo both the skill list, draw a card, then play one of these pseudo combos, draw another card. So it made it very nice because the purpose of Gohan is to protect my battle cards after the turn's over. And a lot of opponents, they did play very well. They would bait me with that. So I'd be like, haha. They'd be like, cool. 6, warp it all. I'd be like, awesome. You got me. But then they'd swing with it. And so, like, a few people would knock me to 3 when they were at 5. And then I hadn't used my Awaken yet, and I was going into turn 3 sometimes or turn 4. Because I do like to hold, as a rule, if you see me below my Awaken, I'm probably going to kill you that turn. That's the turn I go to kill you. Because in that turn, I want to have a lot of resources to just go crazy. Because that's my only, like, I don't have any way of untapping with this deck. There is a way to make this deck blue-red. We talked to a few players that really wanted me to try it, and I played around with it because there's a U7 Roshi who's skillless. And so all you're basically doing is just playing 4 of that. You're also just running 4 beans, and then you're lowering your after images. and that's basically the deck.
It'd be pretty solid. Frieza would be a 24 dual attack. That'd be pretty solid.
Yeah, so the problem with it is you don't have enough blue cards that you can cast. So cards like this guy, he's triple red. You can't play this till 5. Yeah. And more importantly, you can't play this guy till turn 5. Gotcha. And we don't want to play a red-blue land on 1. That's not worth being right now. Like, in best of 1, you don't want to be playing dual color unless you have, like, Soul Striker, who's got, like, that crazy ceiling with it. Like Android 16. You know, he can survive because of his leader ability.
Not against this deck. This deck negs all those 6. Not against this deck. This deck negs those droids 0. That thing is game.
I'm not gonna lie, that was probably my easiest match.
Yeah, it's almost impossible for them.
Very well.
Yeah,
he played very well. He did nothing wrong. It just was like
the matchup sucks for him.
Yeah, the matchup sucked. I was able to go super aggro with my Scions, and against him, I drew double Scion. So I went turn 1 Scion, put 2 Gokus in the play, pass turn. I don't remember what he did. Then during my next turn, Scion Goku swings, pay another 1, throw out 2 more Gokus. He awakens. I don't even bother to attack. I play a Son Gohan. I pass the turn. He's already awakened. Then on my turn 3, I went crazy. I was like double Divine Presence, bringing all the aggro, put him down to 2 life. And then he was able to ramp on his turn. And when he ramped on his turn, that meant on his turn 3, he dropped the Unison, Boo, to survive. And then I just dropped the SCR and killed it and took him down to 1 life. And swung with my leader and just comboed all those skill lists that were still in play. I think I had 2 left, and then my hand. And I think it took us like 10 minutes to play it out, and it was only because I drew 2 Scions. So had I ran 4, I could have done that more often. But this is a list I want to run, so it's very solid. So, yeah, I learned a lot about the weekend. I didn't know, I'm not going to lie. Apparently Son Goku says all skills.
Oh, yeah.
I never read
it before. Yeah, you can't use Heartfelt with that. Yep.
That's apparently you can't use Heartfelt. So that sucks because that's what I was trying to get into. But so Heartfelt's not on my list anymore because it doesn't work.
You can do it technically with After Image.
Told me that, and I was like, no, I can definitely do this. And they were like, no, you can't. And I was like, I can.
Not the way you want to do it, but you can.
And I'm like, man, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
So Heartfelt got cut from my list, and that's about it. But I love this deck. It's a very solid deck. So. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out for. I got a meeting at 9 o'clock. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, Pro Play Games at the store is gonna host 2 pretty awesome celebrities along with me, both Goshen and Stephanie, the voice of Son Goku, and Gohan is gonna be there. So if you guys want to come out and hang out with us Saturday on Whatnot, I'm posting the stream. It'll be a pretty cool opportunity. If it goes well. We might be able to start getting more voice actors at events that aren't Bandai official. So, it's a hope.
Sounds pretty good, man.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, thanks for joining us, man.